enemy is trying to do to discourage us to get this going. But here we are. Lord, we trust in your power. So we ask now that you may be with us, speak through me, and I pray that you may touch the hearts of those that are here, that they may be receptive to the message we're going to hear. Thank you so much, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, let's go through this real quickly. And again, my excitement has died down, but I am on fire tonight. So let's do this. Okay? So are you ready?
Amen.
Okay. All of us here tonight are here because we love God. And those of you who doesn't have a relationship with, you must be responding to that call. Okay? And what I like to share with you tonight, if I know if it has been shared with you, you have the topics already. Okay? We're all good people here. We never think of hurting anyone, right? You never think of doing something mean to somebody else. Okay? But tonight, I'd like you to focus your attention to someone or somebody, okay, that you may have even abused, okay, have you done something that you should not be doing, okay? And you know who that someone will be? Okay? So, anyway, before we continue with that one, this is our program, by the way. We call it Total Health Direction. Total, because it's not just the physical health, it has to have the spiritual aspect to it, and it has to have the social aspect to it. So what we do, anyway, our objective, because we call it the Healthy Lifestyle, okay, Healthy Lifestyle Awareness Program. So this program is an awareness program, an education program. What we do, me and my wife, is try to equip participants. Just provide you with the essential knowledge, beneficial in making better decisions. Remember now, nobody's going to do your health. You cannot entrust your health to anybody else. You are in charge. Okay, you are in charge. So hopefully we can give you some knowledge good enough for you to make the better decision to be healthy, to obtain optimum physical, spiritual, and social health, and ultimately achieving overall well-being. That's what God wants us to do. Okay? So I'd like for us tonight is to focus on you. Okay? Like who here, by the way, has a body part someplace? Okay? You have anybody here? Okay? You have an extra part someplace? When the president would fly the Air Force One, there's another Air Force One sitting close by, just in case that one fails. Okay? So anybody here? I guess none, huh? Because you know how many bodies did God give you? Just one. Okay? That means this is it. Okay? This is it. Nothing else. Alright? So, and just like what we titled the presentation, guess what? You. Think you. Okay, not everybody else. I want you to be a little selfish tonight. Okay? Just think of you. Yourself. Your own body. You. I want you to think. Despite of what everybody would say, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Okay? You are special. When God allow you, I have one presentation at one time that every single second there's millions of people that are born, or thousands of people born into this world. But God must have, every product, they have like a tag that's made this date, or like a barcode. At that point of time, you're the only one that is you, nobody else. Okay, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. So I'd like for us to focus, because before we can go into learning some principles about to be healthy, okay, is that I want you to understand first, what kind of body did God give you? Right? What kind of body did God give you? So anyway, so this is our topic tonight. I'd like for us to focus on our physical body and what it is that we need to take care of, okay? And let me introduce you to somebody to illustrate our whole presentation. Let's try to base it on this story. I want you to meet Irv Gordon. He bought his car, a 1966 Volvo P1800. 1966. So how long ago was that? Huh?
15.
Okay, 1966. He is still driving that car. Okay, he hit 3 million miles last year and put in another 175,000 miles, okay, after he hit that 3 million. And so, of course, he was interviewed. That car right now, he bought for like under $10,000, okay, Volvo, and it's now worth $1 per mile that he drove it, okay? So he was interviewed. How come your car lasted this long? And he said, you know what? I went by the book. Whatever the book said, I did it exactly to take care of this car. When it's time to change oil, I change oil. When it's time to replace spark plugs, I change spark plugs, and I only use the one specified by the manufacturer. Because who would know how to take care of this car than the creator of the car? So that's why his car lasted that long. But guess what, brothers and sisters? Our body, this is what our body needs. Okay, 3 things. I just narrow it down. It needs sustenance. That means we have to feed it just like a car. What does a car need for it to run?
Fuel.
Okay, fuel, gas, right? And when it says unleaded, you put unleaded into it. Okay, when it says diesel, you put diesel into it. Okay, it does not run with anything else other than what it's designed for. Okay, so it needs sustenance. Our body needs sustenance, and we need to eat. Okay, who does that to our body? Who is responsible for that? Okay, me. I'm responsible to put that in there. Okay, me. It also needs time to heal. Okay, now who does that? Huh? You or your body? You just have to step back and let the body do its thing. The body, again, we are wonderfully made. The body heals itself. Okay? The body heals itself, and nobody else can do it. Okay? Not the doctors, not the medication, not even the medication. You know what medication does, right? It just kills the pain so that the body can heal itself. Okay? It lessens the stress your body's undergoing. And then sometimes it may need treatment if necessary. And who can do that for our body? That is when we need our doctors. When you have emergency cases, when you need to have your broken bone needs to be fixed. Okay? So we need treatment. So other than this one, our only job, the only thing that God told us to do with His body is what you feed it with. Sustain it with, okay? And so, whenever you feed yourself, when you eat, when you say you only like to eat certain kind of foods that you want to put in your mouth, remember now, you are not feeding yourself, or just yourself. You are feeding, you always hear that when a pregnant woman said, you're feeding two. Yourself and your baby. No, I beg to differ. You are feeding 75 to 100 trillion you. Your cells, this is the makeup. This is the one, it is life. They have estimated, if we dissect everything what the cell got, its activity is busier than the city of New York City. That's what's so much going on inside your body. You have 100 trillion you. So when you're putting some food in your mouth, think. Usually, what inspires people to eat?
Taste.
Your taste bud. Because we only eat what we like to eat. Isn't that right? Okay, we are pretty much in in the land of, what do you call that? In poor countries, we don't have much choices. And I've been through it. I grew up in a barrio in the Philippines. If it's corn season, guess what food we have? Corn. When it's sweet potato season, we have sweet potato. When there's peanuts, we have peanuts. Okay? We don't care how food tastes, as long as we just fill our stomach. But in the land of plenty, we have a bunch of choices. Okay? And what drives our choices? Our taste buds. Okay? Our taste buds. So, this is your feeding, brothers and sisters. So start focusing yourself. Okay? And throughout the week, we'll find out what could make this cell happy or what make it sad. Okay? We'll find out. Okay? So, what I'd like to accomplish is that before you put the food in your mouth, you start thinking, what would my cell feel if I put this food inside? Okay? Remember now, as children of God, those that believe in God, okay, we are to glorify God with our body, make God happy. And even Jesus said, if you want to follow me, take up my cross. That means it takes sacrifice, brothers and sisters. It takes commitment. So, right now, I'm going to ask you to start being selfless. I ask you to be selfish. Initially, think of your body first. But I want you to start thinking now being selfless. Okay? Put your taste bud aside. I want you to start focusing on making yourselves happy. Because, again, you know, cells, there are lifespan. I don't know if you can see it. There are, let me just go back here. Every day, there's 300 billion new cells every day. Okay? They replicate. Now, when we're growing up, like my grandkids, as they're growing up, they have those growth factors, cells. Okay? They multiply. Okay? As soon as they reach adulthood, there's no more growth factors in there. They have, what do you call that? They replicate the cell. The cell would multiply as we grow up, create new cell. When you're adult, they replicate. Okay? They replicate. So 300 billion new cells every day. And guess what? What does the body need? Again, like what I said, it needs, number one, sustenance. It needs the food that we put into it so that it can replicate. Okay? It can replicate. So, let's look inside. Our body, again, is wonderfully made. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. And we're not going to go into details of the anatomy and physiology tonight. I'm sure a lot of you knows about it already. But let me just look at all the systems. And if I will go, let me go back to this one. This is the organization. Cells, trillions of them, would form into tissues. Okay? About thousands of cells would form into tissues. Your skin, for example, okay? Your nails, your hair, your teeth, okay? The cells, can you imagine? Isn't it amazing? And of all people who believe in, I can't believe that scientists could believe in something like evolution. By accident. You know, the same exact atom would form into cells. Look, there's the cells made up of atoms. And those cells, they're uniform. But yet it knows exactly what it would become. This has a program embedded in there. Oh, you are part of the nail. Oh, you are part of the hair. You're part of the skin. And how can that be evolution if it knows exactly? Okay, and we'll talk more about that one later. So, let's start with our digestive system. Just a little review quickly. This is where it all begins. When you put gas in your car, what happened? It just gets into the spark plug, combustion chamber, and it gets burned. And that's it. Okay? But every time you put something in your mouth, it gets processed, metabolized. It gets absorbed by the body. Okay? So, like cars are made of iron. Think about this. Cars are made of iron mostly, right? And plastic, of course. But you don't feed iron into it. Right? It can't run with iron. So the same thing with us, we say, oh, I need protein in my food. that protein that you eat is not the same exact protein that the body will use, because the body will break it down and then it builds what it needs. Okay, so this is where it all began. The digestive system, it breaks down all the food so that it can be absorbed. It makes the fuel available to the whole body, and we know that what fuels the body is the body is fueled by gas, car fueled by gas, and the body is fueled by glucose or sugar. Everything that you eat will turn into sugar. So that's why we'll learn more about it. Like tomorrow, we'll learn more about that one. Okay, the fuel we provide must not only be of high quality, but it must also be assimilated properly. It's not only that when you eat it, you have the nutrients, and that same nutrient will be absorbed by the body, must be assimilated. Because depending on the food that you put into it, okay, it determines whether the nutrients will be absorbed. Okay, so it starts with the digestive system. That's where all the food would start, and it's pretty much controlled by the stomach, your liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and small intestine. And let me just add that even before you put the food in your mouth, your digestive system is already triggered. When you see the food, oh, that looks good. When you smell the food, oh man, you start salivating. Even when you just hear that what's going to be on the menu tonight, your digestive system is already prepped, right? Okay, so that was already prepped. So these have like all the system is already prepped, ready for the food to come in and be digested. So, and then from there, we have the intestinal system. This is the body's waste disposal. Because what happened is it's easy for a car, you put the gas in, get burned, boom, exhaust. That's it. Okay? It just passes through. It doesn't get stored. The waste products of the car doesn't get stored. But in our body, it's different. Our waste product is still stored. And we'll find out more as we go along in our this week of why it needs to be stored first. Okay? So anyway, in the large colon, this is the large colon of this with the waste disposal system. Everything there, the indigestible food, okay, will get stored because, and we'll learn more again later on, 80% of our immune system is controlled by your large colon. You know that? 80%. So that's very important. And you need to keep this healthy. Your colon needs to be healthy. Otherwise, although it could help 80% of your immune system, it can go the other way as well. Okay, and it could be the cause of diseases. Okay, if it doesn't get properly cleaned, then all your waste product gets eliminated. So the intestinal system, and the number one thing that this colon here needs is fiber, and we're going to find out about that one more. Okay, so it consists primarily of the large bowel and the rectum. Okay, so not only do we have the digestive system to process our food, it needs to be stored and then eliminated to maintain good health. And you know what? Somebody even said that you have a healthy bowel, that when you go to the bathroom, it takes longer to pee than to poop. You hear that? Okay? That it should be that when you go and eliminate, you should not sit there longer than it takes time for you to urinate. See what I'm saying? So to see that you have, and again, a really good indication that you have enough fiber in your body is that when you go to the bathroom, it takes longer to urinate than to defecate. Okay? So that means, especially when you start straining, okay, that means you're lacking fiber. It should be that when you go to the bathroom, you sit down, it comes out, and you're done. Okay? It should not be usual. You should be very happy if you have very large volume of waste products that come out. Large volume, but not width. Because a lot of people say, you can't be proud of yourself when you go to the bathroom and you have that, what do you call that? Experience that you have to strain yourself and say, oh, I have a really huge bowel that came out. It's not the width that you are going to. In fact, it's a big concern if you have a hard time for it to come out. It needs to be large in volume, not in width, okay? And it has to be moist and soft. And again, it should be you go in there, okay, and then it comes out and you're done, okay? You eat your dinner already, okay? So when it grows out with this one, okay? But anyway, so I want you to remember that. Think about your colon health, okay? It should be, and how often. I will talk more about this one. And how often you should dispose of whatever waste product that is stored there. How often do you think? The healthiest number, how many times? A day, for example. 2 to 3, very good, remember, okay? Yeah, at least a minimum it should be that you defecate like however many meals that you're doing in that day, okay? And that means you have you have a healthy gut. It's functioning well. If you're starting to just go once a day, then you should be getting concerned, okay? That means you don't have enough fiber. And if you only go twice a week, you know what? A lot of people are working with 7 to 12 pounds of waste products stored in their gut. And you keep eating, And so what happened? They start to take something to loosen their bowel, things like so. This is very important to keep the system going. Your intestinal system must be very healthy, okay? And then we have the circulatory system. Do you know that all of the nutrients that you eat is transported through your circulatory system? Think about the highways, the freeways, the roads on the streets, okay? Or during rush hour, what happened? Like you get used to that when me and Marco were having Bible study at Kinser, and I work at Camp Foster at the Naval Hospital. After work, I would drive there, and it's only how many miles? 12, and they'll take you more than an hour to get there, okay? Because the highway is congested, okay? Now, so that's why, again, to maintain really good health, we need to have that circulatory, the highways, the freeways of your circulatory system is wide open so that the nutrients can get there on time, okay? So we have, how many miles? Okinawa is only how long? 74 and 30 miles wide or 50, or something like that. And if they probably connect all the highways, the street system of Okinawa, it would stretch long, right? Because you have an idea how long is your circulatory system, your blood vessels is? You know how many miles? If you connect your arteries and your veins, if you connect them all, how long you think it will reach? Give me a number. 200 what? 200 miles? Any other number? Goes around the world. That's 3,000, right? Or 3,000 miles? I just said how long? Over 1,000. Now, brothers and sisters, this is amazing. We are wonderfully made. Me, look at me. I'm 5'4", okay? 60,000 miles of blood vessels. If you connect them all, I don't know if you've seen it. We saw it in Luxor in Las Vegas. The human body, what they did, they dissolve all the tissues, and they have some chemicals that only leave the arteries and the veins. And you can see it all throughout the body, from head to toe, is just networks of blood vessels. 60,000 miles, okay? And think about this one. I work in X-ray, CT, CAT scan. We have to time it. If we inject the contrast, you know how long it takes for the red blood cell, for example, to leave the heart, circulate throughout the body, and comes back? How much time you think? Do you remember the 60,000 miles, right, of network of blood vessels? For it to leave from the red blood cell to come back, how long does it take? 1 day? 1 day. Any other? A tough one? What about 60 seconds? I mean, yeah, 60, not 60 seconds, it's 60 minutes. Nah. 60, no, I mean, get me confused. No, let me think about this one, okay? Let me illustrate. When I do pulmonary embolism, okay, for the chest, and there's some embolism that lies in the heart or the lung, it's very serious and you can die with it. For me to do that study, I've been doing it for so many years. I still get nervous with it. You know why? I only have 10 seconds. If I don't start the machine at 10-second mark, I would miss that contrast in the heart. That's how quickly it would circulate. And depending what body part, we can follow it all the way to the toes. 70 seconds for the abdomen, for abdomen and the pelvis area. And another like 160 seconds to go all the way down to the toes. And then it would come back and what I can, and then it would go to the distant vessels, and then come back to the heart. Okay, so actually take 1 minute. Okay, so it's not hours. It's not 1 hour. Okay, so we'll learn more about this one as we go on. So the circulatory system must be kept open, wide open, just like the freeway system. Okay, then we have the nervous system. It is like the link between the internal worlds, and the external. The nervous system controlled by the brain and the spinal cord, all of that, okay? Respiratory system, this is very unique, brothers and sisters, compared to, because you know what? If you think about it, when God created us, the body from the dust, physically, we have material. He breathed into our nostril, we become a living soul. Okay? This is, and if you remain breathing, I mean, you're still alive. Every morning, I always, when I wake up, I take a big sigh. Thank you, Lord, I'm still breathing. Okay? Because if they cease to function, that's it. Okay? Because we need oxygen to live. Okay? So the respiratory system, we need that supply oxygen into your body. Okay? We have the glandular system. This is again the communication system of the body. And brothers and sisters, this is the system that is interrupted and manipulated by drugs companies. For example, when you feel pain in your finger, it would send a signal. Your glandular system would send a signal. The pain receptor would send a signal to the brain, and the brain would send a signal to the glandular system saying, oh, release some endorphin or something like that to relieve the pain. Okay? Now, what does pain medication do? It would block that. Like, for example, you have low back pain. I have patients would come in and say, oh, what's the problem with your back? Oh, I've been having this problem with this leg. Thank God for pain medication. If it's not for pain medication, then I cannot go work. Guess what? The pain, we'll talk more about that one later. The pain receptor is blocked by the pain medication. So you keep working. So what happened to that part that was hurting? You can't feel the pain anymore. You keep working. So what happened to what's inside? The damage would keep going because you block the pain. Okay? So this is the glandular system that's being interrupted. Okay, it's made up of the thymus gland, the thyroid, the pituitary, the adrenals, all of that. It's just amazing how, of all people that would even think of evolution, the scientists, the doctors, okay, and would think that this came by accident. There's all these complicated networks and systems. Okay, urinary system, the filtration system. 90% of the liquid that you put into your body gets recirculated. If you have a good, healthy, functioning kidney, it gets recirculated and the waste products will be excreted. Okay, just pretty much with your kidney, your bladder, your ureter, and your urethra. So this is the filtration system, because how much of our body is made up of water? Okay, well, 70 to 80%. And a different body part would learn more about this one. Again, this is the first night, so please come back, okay? Because this is just to build up from this one. I want you to get excited. Your body is just amazing. You are wonderfully made. Keep resonating it in your head. This body is special, and you only have one, okay? You only have one, so you must take care of it, okay? This structural system, well, Brother Rachel wouldn't be standing here, or Brother Marco or Brother Manny would be standing if we don't have the framework. The building can stand without the framework. We need that as well, okay? We need a bones, the muscle, the connects, all of that. And last year I showed you that the physical body, you know that laminin I told you, remember? Okay, you were not here. But maybe I'd share it again tomorrow. Let me share you something. It's amazing. It's wonderful. Okay, we're so wonderfully made that even inside our body, you know those trillion cells, you know what hold them together? It's called laminin. Okay, so I'm not gonna, if those of you who have not heard it, you remember, anybody remember it last year? Okay, I have to show it again tomorrow then. Okay, I want you to get excited. Because, oh yeah, she's got an idea about it. Laminin is amazing. It shows that Jesus is not only in charge of the whole universe, he even put as his signature inside your body. That's awesome. Okay, I want you to get excited. You need to come back tomorrow and bring a friend, okay? Bring a friend, get them excited with you as well, okay? And we have this tonight. We'll talk a little bit more about this tonight, the immune system. This is the security system. It's what protects the body, okay? We have the white blood cells, the lymphocytes, the organs that produce these cells, the blood vessel that transport them. We have immune system that protects the body, okay? Most of us are served in the military, okay? It is what provides security to the country, the military and the police force locally. So the same thing in our body, we have that system in place to take care of it, so it will not get sick, okay? So the question here, we have no problem, where did we come from, okay? Una tried to help me in the animation on that one. We'll say, make the or do like this, okay? Okay, make it turn like that a little bit. We'll say, help me, my granddaughter. Or creation, okay? And again, just like what we have talked so far, we are wonderfully made. We did not come by accident. We are not related by the apes that if we evolved from them, there should not have been any more apes, all human beings, and we should have start evolving into something as well, right? But it's not happening because, again, the fact is we are fearfully and wonderfully made. The Lord God formed the dust. You are special. You know how did God create everything else? He just spoke it, right? Let there be light. Let there be this. Let there be that. But then when he came the sixth day, he took time. He got his hands dirty, brothers and sisters. He fashioned you, Sister Diane, okay, meticulously. Oh, this is special. This is Sister Diane Jackson, okay? Okay, I have to make her very special. And then after she formed everything, of course, she breathed that respiratory system. And then Diane, Brother Marco, Brother Manny, me, you brothers and sisters, became a living soul. You are very special. You are very special. So you have the biggest responsibility of taking care of your body is you. Because you know why? God promised that he'll give us a new body. But before we can do it, we must take responsibility because we have to trade this body in, right? You know, you cannot really get a good value when you trade in a car. It's so beat up, right? But if you take care of your old car, okay, you maintain it, you just want to have a new one, you get a good value on it. And guess what? God will not give you a good trade-in car. You trade into a new one unless you take care of this one now. Okay, think about that. You have that responsibility. Okay? Take care of this body. Now, brothers and sisters, my program is, I even promoted that book, How Not to Die. Yeah, remember last year? I promoted that book, How Not to Die. Now, it seems like, it sounded like it goes against the plan. Because God said that we are all going to die. But no, we are all going to die. How the idea is how not to die unnecessarily or prematurely. We are all going to die, okay? So God created us in His image, and that's another special thing. This is the most important thing of how you look. If somebody would ask you, how does God look? If somebody would ask me, say, well, are you looking at me? That's how God looks, okay? Because why? I am created in God's image. So brothers, be proud of it. You are the son, a daughter of God, okay? So when somebody asks you, how does God look? Well, don't be too proud though, okay? Humbly said, I praise God. He created me in His image. So if you give you an idea how God looks, look at me, okay? Okay, this is God in person representing you in front of the person you're talking to. Isn't that, again, you are wonderfully made. You are God's representatives. So, anyway, this is part of the creation. And even Paul himself confirmed that we have so many body parts. So many body parts in our body. And the Bible, and so because of sin, we can only last so long now. Just like a car, they have expected lifespan, right? And with Irv Gordon, his car, even the car manufacturer did not expect for that car to last that long. Because, you know, it's business as well. Okay? You create a product so that people would buy new ones to make money, right? Okay? So it can only last so long. But, so, in other words, this body that God has given us after sin, it says thou shalt surely die. That means we have an ending. Because sin was God's plan. When God created us, what was His original plan? How long we're supposed to live? Forever. But sin, of course, interrupted that. So it says there that, it says there that thou shalt surely die if you disobey me. Okay? And the Bible said that the days of our years are 70 years and 10. How long is that? 70. In fact, that's just the average lifespan in the Bible after Moses' time, okay? That's an expected lifespan, but you can prolong it as long as God wants you to if you take care of it by the book. You remember Irv Gordon, his 1966 car lasted this long, more than 3 million miles. This body can last as long. That's why you heard about in 2005 National Geographic. There's 3 areas in the world that has the most centenarians. And you, who's here from Okinawa, locally native from Okinawa? Are you from here? Okay. And the Okinawans, the Sardinians in Italy, and the Seventh-day Adventists. Okay. And you know what? I'm excited to meet Dr. Kinjo. He'll be here on Sabbath. And he said he has 2 of them. He's Okinawan, he's a Seventh-day Adventist. Okay. So he said he might live twice as long, more than that. Okay. So in this, this is what I'd like to mention something with you. Again, wonderfully made. Okay. The telomeres. Have you heard this word before? Telomeres. Okay. This is like you're looking at a candle. You know that part that you light up? The wick. Okay. The telomeres are the wick of our body. That's what determines how are we going to live, or how long we're going to live. And you can shorten it, or you can lengthen it with what you eat. Okay, we're still going to die. Okay, we're not going to live forever, but we must live our lives the longest that God will allow us, so that we can do work for Him. Right? Okay, let's look at a little bit of the telomeres. It is the caps at the end of each strand of DNA. You know, again, I'm not going to go into complicated anatomy and physiology, but just think of the shoelace. You look at your shoelace, the guys, you know that shoelace right here? That is a telomere would look like in the body. See, these are the DNA. I got the DNA. Okay. See, this is the telomere right there. Remember, I told you when we are become adult, our cells, the same exact cells, is going to be replicated because they die. They only have certain lifespan. They die. Depending on how many times it's replicated, it can only, because I believe that our telomeres, when before sin entered, our telomeres must be unlimited because we're going to live forever. Or the tree of life would lengthen the telomere. Okay? But anyways, right now, by the time, depending on how many times it's replicated, it will run out. As soon as it runs out, you die. Okay? As soon as it runs out, you die. Okay? So, growing evidence, okay? Brothers and sisters, there's growing evidence right now. I'm using websites, and the end of our lecture, the 7th session, which we combined into 6th session, I'm going to share with you how to do your own research. Okay? Make sure to look at the source and references and who's doing research. Okay? Now, these are all general scientific research. So they're saying there's growing evidence, but they're finding out that lifestyle factors heavily affect the health and lifespan of your telomere length. Lifestyle factors, okay? And the rate you can speed it up or you can slow it down, okay? And they found out that if you eat correctly and you exercise regularly, the rate of the shortening of the telomere would slow down, okay? So you can lengthen. They call it the longevity study they're looking at is that what they found out, the centenarians, they have long telomeres, okay? And so, again, it can lengthen or it can shorten the telomeres. Decreases with age, we have no choice on that part. And the accelerated telomere shortening may increase the pace of aging. So what jeopardizes the telomere? This is some of the example, not all of them. Obesity, all of that, stress, harmful agents. That's something that we have no control. We get lack of exercise, unhealthy diet, animal fat, lack of fiber, lack of antioxidant. All of this will jeopardize your telomere. Okay? So again, we lose it as we age because as soon as it runs out, we die. Okay, so inside our body, we'll try. How much time do I have left? Okay, so anyway, there's another amazing thing, wonderfully made. This body, we have an internal law enforcement. Okay, so we have what we call the immune system. I mentioned that one. Okay, so this is what protects us from getting sick, the immune system. Keep the infectious microorganisms out of the body and destroy those that do invade the body. Again, this is very complicated, but we'll just try to learn as much as we can. So the immune system is made of complex networks, okay, cells, organs that protect the body from infection. And it's like this. We have that external, the internal. There's first line of defense and second line of defense. Think about this. What is your first line of defense? Okay? Your skin, the largest organ in the body. So if you have your skin intact, no microorganism can come in. Okay? So that's the first line of defense. Okay? But what if you get a cut or it gets inside? Okay? Well, before that, the tear, the salivary glands, all the opening in our mouth, like you have hairs in your nose, hairs in your ear, anything in your opening. You even have those, what is that? Hair in your eyes? Eyelashes that protects that as well, filters all the dust. And you have the tears, okay? And anything that has opening, organs that has opening into the body, they have all that. That's still considered the first line of defense. The mucosal epithelium, just like why you have mucus in your nose, because it bypassed the hair in your nose. It got trapped, so your body tried to encircle it with mucus, and you sneeze it out. And if you have something through your mouth, you would cough it up because the phlegm, the mucus, again, captured the harmful pathogens, and you can cough it out. So that's still considered the first line of defense. Okay. But then if your skin gets broken and get inside into your bloodstream, then the second line of defense. This is where where your skin is penetrated, the damage has occurred. Okay. So what it does, for example, if you have a cut, when you have the white blood cell, it performs phagocytosis. That means cells would eat up those germs. Okay, there's the second line of defense. Okay, and it will dismantle. It would use, and also if it's still floating in your blood vessel. Okay, floating in your blood vessels, the phagocytosis would eat those up. But if it gets inside the cell is get damaged. Then what you call the killer T cells. It would kill the cells itself, okay? Because if you don't kill those cells, it gets replicated. It gets multiplied. So that's why we get tumors, we get cysts, okay? Because the cell was damaged, and the killer cell will kill them. And if the killer cells cannot kill them, then it would become cancerous later on, okay? The third line of defense is that when you are exposed to certain viruses, the second time around, your body builds an antibody to combat it, to recognize it as harmful next time around, okay? And of course, right now, we try to make it easy. We have vaccination, thinking that we can, but notice, right, vaccination does not exactly mimic the natural disease process. It doesn't. But the best way really is to build your immune system natural means, okay? Through the food that you're eating, build your immune system. Because what happened is even vaccines, you know why you have vaccines every year for flu vaccine? Because they don't know what kind of strain of virus is going to hit you that year, okay? And if at best they have 70% success rate, a lot of people that get vaccinated would still get sick, okay? And notice again, if you look at them, we're not going to go into detail on this one, but think about this one. The vaccine components that they use, mercury, formaldehyde, they are in themselves are very harmful to the body if you ingest them. And it is, again, all of this mercury, formaldehyde used to embalm bodies, okay? So we're not going to look into this into details, but this is because the body can build its own antibodies. This is the third line of defense. The body recognizes it. That's why those people, sometimes they would draw blood on somebody who have survived through some epidemic, and they use that blood to mimic the blood actually to create a vaccine. Okay, so the immune system, and what we're going to be doing throughout the week is to build our immune system up. It needs proper exercise, proper rest, and the right nutrition. Okay, so let's talk about symptoms. You know what symptoms are, right? Okay, symptoms is a subjective indication of disorder. Now, in other words, it's just an alert mechanism. It is when the body is crying out for help. Okay, so what happens if you have, for example, you have headaches? Is a headache a disease or a symptom? It is a symptom. So what do we usually do when we have headaches? Take a pill. And what does it do? It takes the headache away. But what caused the headache? Don't know. But what happened is the body is crying help, and then you silence it. Oh, be quiet, by taking pills. Okay. So as soon as the pill subsides, the effect, you had the headache still. That means, and then we should start listening to our body, what's going on. But we take more pills. Okay. So is it friend or foe? Friend. Symptoms. Okay. Sadly, the medication we have right now, the modern medicine, is that we are, we treat the symptoms, not the cause. Okay. Pain. Okay. Physical suffering, distress, sensation, mental, emotional. So that's why we're making some industry, trillion-dollar industry, richer every day because of this. To silence the pain, which again, it is a friend or a foe. It is a friend, okay? So what I'm suggesting tonight is, I want you to be, you may be the friendliest person in the world. Okay, you're nice to everybody else. But then you should be the nicest to yourself. Okay? So start listening to your body. You start like the most basic element, feel what you feel. Don't ignore. If something's going on, just like Herb Gordon again, the owner of that car, he listens to every sound of his car, the feel of his car. Okay, when something doesn't feel right, he'll look into it. Again, he loves his car so much, he pays attention to it. He feels something is not right, he would look into it. Okay, and try to do something about it. Okay, accept what you felt. Don't deny. A lot of people are in denial with something going on in their body. They deny, oh, that's just, well, my wife is always mad at me because I bought her a car, and she said, I hear something, and I drive it. So I didn't. Okay, and she would say, oh, I feel something in the car, and I drive it. You know, I don't feel anything wrong in this one, your car. So we have to start accepting what you feel. Don't deny it, okay? Because it's your body's way of saying again, something's wrong inside, okay? Also, be open to your body, okay? And it helps to educate yourself. What we're doing here during this week is to educate ourselves so that we can better take care of our body, okay? Also, trust your body, okay? And a lot of people, and you know, almost 100% of my patients, I ask them, why are you here? What seems to be the problem? I said, oh, my doctor sent me over here. And he entrusted his health. Oh, the doctor knows. I said, oh, but you're hurting here, but they wanted a procedure there. So the doctor knows what he's doing. So, okay, so you must trust your body. You're the one who knows, okay, not your doctor. Doctor won't rely on what you're telling them. So you have to learn to trust your body. Value spontaneity. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that word. Okay, emotions change, cells change, all of that. The brain changes, okay? Because again, as we age, for example, we change. Used to that we don't have that aches and pains when you get up. Right now I have that aches and pains when I get up. Okay, so that's a change. I'm aging. Okay, but you have to realize again, brothers and sisters, I just started being vegan 2008. Okay, and before that, I subjected this body into so many things. You know how it is in the military. We went to boot camp. How many vaccinations did you receive? Okay, a lot. Both sides at the same time. Okay, when we went to the Gulf War, we took those pills for the NBC warfare. We're taking those pills. We're taking shots all over. So this body's been subjected to, and I wasn't careful. I wasn't Seventh-day Adventist. I wasn't born into it. I've eaten bats, turtles, snakes, snails, all of that in the Philippines. We're in the barrio. And I didn't go as far as eating failed mouse, just like my cousin who ate it. But I've subjected this body into so much. And I smoked for 7 years. And I drank alcohol for, how long was that? So I subjected this body into so many things, okay? And chemicals, when you drive out there on the street, when you drive a brand new car and close the window and put the air conditioning on, you have these fumes, okay? So you've subjected your body into so many things, okay? And also, you can enjoy your body. You can indulge your body. But let me ask you though, some people would try to eat healthy. They say, oh, I've been doing so good the whole week, I'm going to reward myself. I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to eat this big piece of cake. Now let me ask you, is it a treat or a punishment? Okay. A lot of people treat, make them happy, it tastes so good. But there you're treating your taste buds, but you're punishing the rest of the body. Okay. So So there are the body has so many normal ranges. Okay. For example, just to give you an idea, for female, if you are 5 foot, your normal weight is 100 pounds. Ideal weight at 5 foot. Okay. But then you add 5 pounds for each inch. Okay. So that means if you're 5'2", you're like 110. That's a small build. You add another 10 if you're medium, and then another 10 if you're large frame. Okay? So that's like 100 pounds for 5 foot and 5 pounds for each additional inch. For male, okay, for male, the normal or ideal weight is 106 pounds for 5 foot. And then you add 6 pounds for each additional inch. Okay? Like how tall are you, brother? Okay, 6. Okay, at 5 foot, that's 100. So 6 times 6. Huh? So 100 for a small frame, 136 pounds. Okay, 136 pounds, 146 for medium frames, and 156 if you're large frame. That is what they have found out, that the normal body range weight, that is considered normal, that's the healthiest. Okay. Also, the body temperature, the pulse, the blood pressure, you have some normal range, something like that. Okay. And also the body mass, the BMI, 25 and under. But then the easiest way to remember is that when you measure your waist, okay, don't suck your stomach. You measure your waist, it should be that your waist circumference is half of your height. Okay? You get it? Your waist, for example, my waist is 30. Okay? 29, 30. And I'm 5'4", that's 64 inch. Okay? Half of 64, it's 32, right? So my waist should not be larger than 32 inch. So your waist circumference, half of your height, that would be your ideal body mass. Okay, body mass. Okay. And the pH balance, we should maintain the body should be alkalinic, 7 pH. Lower than 5, you start getting sick, and that's where cancer cells started to grow. But again, we will go through this throughout in our and the foods that are alkalinic would be all from plant foods. Foods that from animals are all acidic. Okay, and we have to maintain a slight alkalinic or basic. Okay, and this is again being wonderfully made. We have system going on. Again, we are not here by accident. If you think about it, inside our body you have different departments. We have the government as the brain. Okay, we have the Department of Defense, the immune system. Okay, we have the Department of Transportation, the circulatory system, and I would add the lymphatic system in there. Also, we have the Treasury Department. I put remember the Treasury Department? Okay, that's what fund. Okay, well, what is the body currency? Well, the U.S. currency is dollar. The body currency is calories from food. So we have this. We have the communications network, the nervous and the glandular systems. We have the public works, the tracheal, urinary, intestinal system, all of that. And, in the government, they have budgets. Look at this. If the energy that you take in, this is how the body spends it, okay? It is spent 80% of its energy is expended on sanitation, to clean it up. You know why after you eat a good, solid meal, how do you feel? You wanted to go to sleep. You know why? Because your energy, 80% of your energy is concentrated in digesting that food. Okay? Now, that's why, but if you eat correctly, okay, that sanitation right there, that sanitation percentage will go to the police, the budget. Okay? So, to increase the budget of the immune system, if you eat correctly. But if you eat unhealthily, 80% of your budget and your energy budget will be spent in the sanitation. The police department is only 4 to 5%, okay? And like the budget of the U.S., of the military spending, is equivalent to the combined other countries, combined, okay? So I spend so much money. And the school system, the central nervous system, we have to learn a lot, especially to maintain our sanity and to prevent Alzheimer's diseases. We have to keep learning. You have to keep learning every day, something new that you've never been exposed. And public works, the maintenance of organs. Okay, so brothers and sisters, the food that you eat, 70% of it is just for the maintenance of the organs inside, the thermogenesis, they call it. Okay, so God promised that if you listen, that means you go by the book. Brother Gordon, Irv Gordon, right? He listened. He went by the book, whatever the instruction of the Creator is, he followed it. What God promised, if you listen to obey Him, what He said of how to take care of this body, okay, and to keep His decrees, then He promised, I will not bring on you any of the diseases. That's what God promised. Can we claim that promise? That means, is it possible for you not to get sick? Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. If you just follow exactly, just like what Irv Gordon again, he maintained his car, it lasted this long, because he followed the book. Okay, and we have a book that we can follow as well. You always hear that science contradicts the Bible, right? We hear that? But no, I disagree. Because science confirms the Bible. The only part in science that disagree with the Bible is the theory of evolution. And in fact, did you just hear what I said? Theory? Theory of evolution? Evolution is not science, it's a theory. Okay? So, the same thing with a theory, you need faith, right? So you need faith to believe in evolution, you need faith to believe in creation. So either way. So I'd rather believe in creation, that I'm wonderfully and fearfully, wonderfully made. Okay? And the Bible, and John said that he wants us to be in good health, physically and spiritually. Okay? So we have to take care of your body. It is the only place you have to live. All you only have one. You have no spare. Okay? And this Charlotte Gerson right here, she said, there's only, in the medical field, there's a pill for every symptom. Okay? To treat the symptoms, you need this. And then you have side effects, so they make more pills for that side effect. And that side effect will have side effect too, and make more pills on it. Okay? But no, to treat the body right, there's only one treatment for everything. Because we have one body, they're all connected to each other. Okay? So, tomorrow we'll be talking more about this. What does this body need? The sustenance. We need our body nutrients. We need macronutrients and we need micronutrients. We need carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water. So we'll talk about this one tomorrow in detail. And the body, again, health. Eating healthy is only one component of health. We need to have optimal nutrition, adequate exercise, effective stress reduction. So we're going to be talking about that throughout this week. Okay? So let me just share with you again. We're wonderfully made. Some quickly, we have 100 trillion cells in our body, 206 bones, 600 muscles, 22 internal organs. Some interesting facts. Every square inch of the human body has about 19 million skin cells. Every square inch. Can you imagine that? If we measure your skin, square inch, it has 19 million cells in that square inch. Amazing. Okay? 1 billion cells in the human body must be replaced. Okay? Also, average human head has about 100,000 hairs. I have much less than that. Okay? All right? Okay. Circulatory system, I told you about this one, 60,000 miles. Heart beats more than 2.5 billion times in a lifetime. Your taste buds have 9,000. You have 9,000 taste buds in your tongue. Okay? So you blink 10 million times a year. Okay? That's a protection as well. Okay. This is Dr. Kim Williams. He is the president of American College of Cardiology. He said, because we are going to die, we're all going to die. He said, I don't mind dying. I just don't want it to be my fault. Did you get that? We're all going to die. Brothers and sisters, God would hold you responsible if you contribute to your death. You know what I mean, right? You're contributing, every time you eat, you're either contributing to your health or contributing to your death. Okay? So we have, because in the Bible, John 4:17, it says, those who know what is good and doeth it not, it is a sin. So don't be discouraged. This week we're going to learn how to do good to this body, okay? But then you're going to be responsible in applying them. If you really wanted to honor God with your body, then it's our responsibility to educate ourselves. And this week we are going to educate ourselves, okay? So this is our journey. Tonight is just the first night. We'll learn more, and please come back every night and bring more friends, okay? So even the father of modern medicine, Hippocrates, said, let food be thy medicine. For every doctor that goes through a medical school, when they take that oath, they take this oath, okay? Let food be thy medicine. It should not be, the real medicine is not in pill form. So thank you so much. I appreciate you coming, and please come back tomorrow, and you see the schedule, okay? God bless you all. Now, do we have time for questions? Brother Michael, we have time for questions? Okay. So yeah, we can open the floor for questions. And for some of those that we may be talking about in the next topic that I'm not going to talk that much. Okay? So any question for tonight?
Can you go back to the slide that had the things that were harmful to the body, like smoking, obesity, stress, harmful agents?
The telomeres. Okay, lengthening of the telomeres.
Yes, earlier you talked about how the body uses so much energy, especially how our stomach uses so much energy to digest food. I know sometimes I've experienced that when I eat, after I eat maybe too much, I feel sluggish, tired, overworked, and I want to lay down. Is that because I ate too much and my stomach's working really hard, super hard, or is it something else?
It's only part of that. But also because I forgot to mention that certain kind of foods is digested at different time. Okay? For the fastest food to be digested is fruits, the fruit group. They digested in 3 hours. Okay? And then the 4th hour waiting for absorption. Okay? Vegetables longer, 4 hours digestion time. The 5th hour waiting for absorption is in the small intestine. Now, any foods that came from the flesh foods, okay, 6 to 8 hours digestion time, and especially highly processed food, including dairy, cheese products, okay, highly processed food, dairy, cheese and dairy products, it takes up to 12 hours. Okay. Now, if you eat the only food that the body requires are the whole foods, that is, it doesn't spend too much energy. So that means, okay, during the week, I will only eat at work, I will love my fruit smoothies, and my green smoothie, my raw sweet potato, and my big bowl salad. So when I eat, for example, my fruit smoothie, the energy never gets depleted. Because the body is not spending too much time digesting it because it recognizes it. When you eat plant food, it has its own enzyme that will help break it down. So the body doesn't secrete any digestive juice to spend 80% of our energy. It's already there because there's foreign substance there. You know what are foreign to the body? Fresh food. Okay, it's not designed for it. That's why it's sluggish, because the body has all this big chunk of meat or flesh in there, and it doesn't know what to do with it. So it has to break it down. Okay? And not only that wrong kind of food, it's not the best food for the body, and a lot of people will eat a lot of it. So that's why it's like you want it to rest because the body is giving us that energy and digesting that food. Okay? But try this yourself again. The reason why I'm so convinced of this one because it works. It works for me. You know, of course, I love fish. I love chicken. We don't have beef in our house, but we go out. And I remember that we were here in Okinawa. And we went here that enlisted club in Canada. If you have a birthday, it's free. Okay. So I went there when we don't eat beef at home. I said, I'm going to order the most expensive meal there is. And it's a big steak. Okay. So I ordered it, I ate it, and how I tasted it. And at 3 or 2 o'clock in the morning, she was like squirming, she could go to sleep. She ended up that same morning, had surgery of her gallbladder removed. Okay, like that. Because again, the flesh food is not friendly to the body. It will expend most of your energy for digesting.
So what I'm hearing, if I eat anything that's not plant-based, either fruits or vegetables, my stomach, my digestive system is going to have a hard time.
It's the food. It's the
only food that the body recognizes. Oh, thank you so much. I don't have to work as much. Okay, so it knows how to what to do with it. Just like think about it. You are a builder. You need supplies, right? So you need all those materials coming in. If somebody keeps supplying you the wrong supply, you cannot continue or you cannot maintain the building. Okay, so and then it doesn't know what to do with it. So most of it will be stored for future use if it can be used. Okay, so we'll talk more about that one throughout the week.
You mentioned about vaccines. Baby, my baby is going to go soon. Thinking about vaccines. So, what do you recommend for infants, born babies, vaccines?
Okay. With me personally, if I know what I know now when I have kids, I will not expose my kids to it. Okay. Again, these presentations are only to equip you, because you're still going to be the one to make that decision. Think about this. The immune system, our body doesn't need help. Well, the only help it needs is that put more food in your mouth, put the right ones, and we can claim God's promise. Okay? If you follow me, obey me. What is the reason why I'm so convinced in this one? Because I believe I have everything founded on the Bible. What did the Bible say? Because so many arguments out there, flesh food, plant foods are the healthiest, but if you don't have really something to really anchor it, then it's just up to the person. It's just a choice, right? To me, it's not a matter of choice, it's a matter of fact. Because it's founded, the Bible said, what is the original prescription? Okay? Plant foods. Okay? Fruits specifically. And if you build your child, now remember, the health of your baby depends on what you're eating. Okay? If you eat healthy, the immune system of your baby will be healthy. Okay? Now the reason why, because think about this one. You eat wrong, the gene expressions is altered in your body, and you pass it on to your baby. Okay? So if you have a strong immune system, your baby will have a strong immune system. So if you avoid anything right now that could compromise your immune system, then your baby is healthy when the baby is born. You know? So with me personally, I would say if they're my kids, if they're my own kids, if I know what I know now, then I will not. You know? So again, it's up to us. And do more research on that one. And again, I'll show you what website to go to, and look at the references. And again, gathering that's responsibility. Just educate yourself on that one some more. Okay. Anything else? Yes. Oh, that's what Brother Mark was just talking about, handouts. So I have handouts that I was gonna send out, but we just need to remember all of this one. You can also just get the slide. But we'll have handouts, and maybe we can reproduce it or what we talk tonight, we can distribute it the next day, something like that. Okay, I could just email it to you. You could reproduce it. Okay. All right. Any other question? Now again, please come back, and it just helped us to make better decisions. It's still up to us. Okay. Hopefully we get something. And I wanted to start. Remember, look at the person in the mirror. You're responsible for that person you're looking at, and that person is at your mercy. You know, and it depends, and it starts with the food that you put into your mouth. Okay. So thank you so much. If there's no other question, I will see you tomorrow.
Just one last thing, and we prepare to close out. Don't forget, at the end of this, there's a food tasting in the fellowship hall. It's not a meal. It's just food tasting. Give you a sample idea of what certain plant-based foods taste like. Sister Brody has prepared a small sample, I believe. So if you would like to partake of that, you're more than welcome to transition from here over to the fellowship hall. But again, it's just a food tasting. It's not a meal. Just give you a good idea about plant-based foods.
Okay, Brother Marco, can you close it in prayer? Or?
All right, let's bow our heads.